Hello, everyone, and I'm sorry, I just thought I heard a scratching at my window. And after I read this book, that is the last sound I ever want to hear. Matter of fact, I might never move to another place where there's even a chance that a tree branch could get close enough to scratch against my window. It's just that good, and we're going to talk about it right now. So today we're going to talk about an incredible book called The Watchers by A.M. Shine. It's a fairly new release, and it's got monsters, it's got psychological horrors, it's got drama, it's got about everything you could want in a horror book, and more. So basically, it involves 4 people who, let's just say, inhabits a shelter in the middle of the middle of the woods. But this isn't, they only inhabit it because they have to, but they're not exactly trapped in the house, in the shelter. They're all prisoners of sorts. Well, wait, I'm getting a little ahead of myself. Let me tell you about the 4 characters. First, there's Mina. She's kind of a loner. She's kind of by herself, doesn't have any real close friends, no family to really speak of, except for a sister, and they have a very broken relationship. And her whole job was to deliver a parrot. She was going to get a couple €100 to deliver a parrot for a buddy of hers that she knows from a bar she frequents. Then there's Charlie. Charlie is 19 years old. He took what little money he had, he bought himself a cheap motorcycle, and decided to get away from his very abusive household. And then there's Sierra, a young housewife who had what she thought was the perfect marriage, who has a huge loss in this book that affects her mentally and, of course, emotionally. And then there's Madeline. Now, Madeline's an enigma because she was there long before any of them. It's her house, and you go by her rules. She is the boss there. You do what she says when she says it. She's an older lady. She seems very frail and fragile, but she is a survivor. She might be tougher than any of the other characters combined. And you will listen to her. But it's hard to feel anything for her because she's not empathetic nor sympathetic to any of their problems or concerns or their mental states, because she is a survivor. Her rules are simple. You follow them or you die. And it's just that simple. And if you don't follow them exactly to the letter, she'll let you die to protect herself and the ones that are following her rules. And I really like that character, by the way. Mommy issues. But anyway, they're in the middle, this shelter is in the middle of the woods that stretches for miles and miles and miles around with no discernible tracks, no discernible paths. Nothing works in or around those woods. No cell phones. They all got there because their vehicles broke down at some point because they quit running once they reached the edge of this woodland. No other animals inhabit the forest, because, of course, that's where the Watchers live. Thousands of creatures who make their lair under the grounds of this woodland all the way around. And in the center is this one shelter. And the rules to surviving are very simple. Before the lights go on, and they get switched on automatically every night at dusk, before they go on, you not only have to be inside the shelter, but you have to be inside a special room inside that shelter that is triple locked, or else you will be left outside and you will die. Horribly, I might add. The shelter has a light that comes on, almost sun-like. It's blinding. It means that these guys aren't getting any sleep at night. And on one side of this room, there's a big window. During the day, it acts like a mirror, but at night with that light, they can't see out, but that's where the Watchers come out at night. Thousands of them screeching and howling watching their human prey like they're in a zoo every night through this window right outside where these people sleeping, and they're trying to find a way in. Like I said, they're screeching, they're scratching at the window, they're pounding on the window. They're trying to get at the humans that are inside. Now, every day at dusk, or at dawn, the light goes out. And that means they can leave the shelter. So the question might be, well, if they can leave during the day, why not just walk out? And that's the thing, there is no way out. Sierra, one of the characters, her husband was in the shelter with her initially, but he made the foolish mistake of trying to get up at dawn one day when the light went out and make his way to safety to bring back help. He traveled for hours and hours and hours, just winding up more lost and more confused. Everything looks the same in this dead, barren forest. And eventually he didn't make it back in time, and he paid the price. And there's a really good twist at the end, but that's all I'm going to say about the book. Because the twist itself sets itself up for a sequel, and I can't wait for that sequel. Not all questions are answered in this book, but hopefully in the sequel we'll find out more about the Watchers, their goals, what do they hope to accomplish, and how exactly it's going to affect these people that we get to live through in this book. And what a book it is, and here's why I like it so much. First of all, a lot of times, you know how authors sometimes get a little wordy when they try to describe an area or a building where they feel the need to fill up page after page with exact details of something. Sometimes that can be a little bit hard to read. I admit that. But in this case, it's not. Because most of the story takes place in this one shelter, in this one huge, giant area that nobody can come in or get out of at night. And the way the author describes it in detail really helped put me in that place. This place is not colorful, it's not bright, it's dark, it's dreary, it's bleak. It's the middle of winter in Ireland, so there's very, very short days. So even thinking about trying to escape during the day, not going to happen. And you really get a sense, the way he words things. This man really is a wordsmith, by the way. The way he words things really puts you right in their shoes. You can feel their fears, you can sense their desperation, their pain, their hopelessness, their helplessness. It really put me in their shoes. I can picture this shelter and this wooded area in my mind just because of his description. I see it very clearly, as you should when you're reading a good book, like a movie playing in my mind. I can picture it just as if I'd been there, and I'm remembering it from just my memory. And that's a testament to the writing skills of A.M. Shine. I really, really love the fact that he put that much effort, because like I said, this place is an integral part of the story. And if he had taken less time to actually describe it, it wouldn't have been as effective emotionally as the reader, for the reader. The second thing I really liked about it were the monsters, the Watchers themselves, because these were not monsters that had some kind of perhaps twisted moral agenda. Like you might read a book about an evil company trying to tear down the forest to build a casino or something. They awaken an ancient evil and people just start dying left and right. And that's okay. I love a good horror story no matter what the context or no matter what the subtext is trying to say. Environmentalism, protecting the environment. Hey, I'm for that. I get it. But not all monsters need to have that motivation, right? And the monsters in this story actually come from Irish folklore and legend, exaggerated to the 10th degree and made very evil. These monsters only do the things they do because they want to. It's fun for them. They want to kill people or any other animal or creature that might get in their forest. And that's all. They're very evil. They're there in the thousands. They're very rabid. They will find you. This is not a matter of hiding under some dirt or covering yourself in mud. This is not Predator. These things will sniff you out. The forest is theirs. They will find you. They will kill you. But before they do that, they will psychologically, and I'm not going to tell you how, but trust me, they will psychologically torture you and physically torture you, making you suffer as greatly as possible before they tear you limb from limb. And they only do it because for them, it's fun. And so monsters like that have no underlying moral sense that you can't just explain away like, well, I kind of get this monster because, protect the environment. Hey, I'm with you. No, there's none of that there. They're just plain evil for the sake of being evil. And that made all the bleakness and all the grayness and all the dinginess of the world that the author created added on top of the monsters really set a bleak, depressing picture in my head, but in a good way, because I'm pretty sure that's what he was going for. And like I said, despite the fact that there is a huge twist at the end, I'm hoping there's going to be a follow-up because I can't wait, and I will definitely be back to give you my review of that once I read it. In the meantime, pick up your own copy, however you can, and read it for yourself. You won't be disappointed. Trust me. I don't give star reviews on my YouTube channel, but it's definitely recommended. I have a link below if you want to buy it from Amazon, but it's available wherever books are sold. So buy it from your favorite store, online, in person. Go to the library and check it out even. Whatever you do, read it. Also down below, there's a link to my Twitter. Hey, come join me on Twitter. Be my friend. We'll share our weird tweets together. And as always, I want to thank you for taking a little bit of your time to spend with me. I really appreciate it. It means a lot. And until we meet again, keep reading spooky, my friends.